Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Dyson Sphere Program. And before we get started, just want to point out a couple of things that I have made edited whilst we were off camera. The first one is I've stacked these up here. So we've got a few more storages here. These are almost full. These are only small storages, so they don't take long to fill up. But this just basically gives us a backlog of materials whilst everything else is jam full. As you can see, everything's stopped. Now, you don't need to stack up things this full, but I have. As you can see, everything's nicely full here. And this is just so I can do things a little bit faster rather than having to wait for things to be built and stuff like that. The same is applied for our science as well, so we can go through our sciences and they can crack on with them. And we can get them up and going a little bit faster than we normally would. Again, I've added an additional magnet crafter here as well. That was just to make this run a little bit smoother. The other thing I've done is some stone down here, so I've got stone available as well. Now, the plan of action is to basically get planetary logistics sooner rather than later. That's the aim. Once we have planetary logistics and we get foundations, then we can start making some big plants. And I'm going to basically turn this entire planet into one giant factory. And we're going to expand onto the other ones as well. The other ones have obviously got other materials we need. We need titanium ore, silicon ore. We definitely need to unlock so we can see what veins are on the planet. We need oil sooner rather than later because we can't get any red science. So today we're going to be concentrating on just basically doing a few bits like that. So let's get our technology up and running first. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to go to my upgrades and I want to do my universe exploration. And then I want to do my mecha core. And then I basically want to get these upgraded as well. We can't do vertical construction. We haven't got the red side. Okay, that's that done. Once you've done the mecha core there,
you have unlocked the universe exploration. Now you can click the details display button in the lower right corner of the screen to open real-time distribution details of the ore veins.
Okay, so that's probably our nearest crude ore there, which is definitely what we're going to need. Let's just drop that off for a minute. Right. So, what we're going to need... Right, we need some plates. Let's grab some plates. We need to allow using inventory options. There we go. We already have plates on us. Once we get the mecha upgrade, we should be able to do a few more mecha upgrades, including flight, so I can actually fly around a little bit easier. But you can just see this is backing up nicely here. This just gives us a great supply. We're not actually using the supply. It's all blocked off at the moment. But when we come to doing some more smelting stuff later on, I'll be moving all of these and basically creating a power supply. Probably around here, to be fair. There's a lot of coal around here. So this will probably become my power production. And we'll move the smelting over to possibly where this is here. Right, let's have a look what we've got next. Now I obviously know what's going to be next. It's going to be things like this, but we'll wait until this is completed and we'll see what we got first. There's only 2 more plates to go and then we can crack on with that. Here we go, 1 more plate. Any second now. And what have we got? Okay, maximum core energy. So, a lot of things here. The main one I want to try and get is drive engine first. Main utilization is definitely going to be a priority once we get the red. Now I call it red science. That's no factorial thing, so I do apologize, but it is matrix. They're called matrix, energy matrix. But if I ever refer to them as sciences, that's what I'm referring to. Okay, what else are we going to stack up? Right, let's just stack on anything. That one we can't do. That one off. We need the energetic graphite for that one. That one can be done. That one needs steel. We could probably do steel. No, we can't actually do steel. Let's do that. And then we need to go to our technologies. Now, we're going to need plasma extract refining because that gives us our crude oil. Let's go ahead and queue that up as well. We need smelting purification because that allows us to create the graphite. And we need steel smelting. But we'll do steel smelting first. Then we'll do smelting purification. And then I want to look at solar collection. I believe, yep, we'll be able to unlock that. And then our queue's full, so we can't do anything. We definitely want to look at things like magnetic levitation, but again, we need red energy matrix for that. Right, so We're going to need 150 coal first, so let's go and grab the coal. The mecha's so slow when you first start. Now, I haven't actually stocked up on coal, so I need to do that, but we can grab 50 out of here. Go. Let's grab some storages here. Double stack the storage. Grab some trees out of the way. Oh, we're actually out. There we go. Stackers going. That should give us. That's not giving us a continuous, I don't think. Might be alright once it's put down on the backup. Right, let's continue getting some more coal here. Right, so I'm just going to let all of this research run out, and then we'll come back and we'll start talking about some of the things we want to do. Most of this is just going to be mecha adjustments, and everything else we can then work on doing some better designs. So to save you watching me clicking buttons, I will jump forward until all that's done. See you shortly. Okay.
The data shows this is a planet without natural silicone veins. However, you can still obtain some by smelting stone ore. While you still need a massive silicone collection, you need to find a planet rich with silicone veins as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's one of our to-dos, don't worry. Right, so as you can see, we've expanded our research a little bit more now. We can do the energy matrix, the red ones. I am going to go ahead and do that, just so then we've got it. We don't need to worry too much about it, but we can get basic chemical engineering as well, which is a blue resource. Deuterium fractionation, try and get that out there, needs red. Semiconductor materials, that's a blue. So anything that's basically just blue. We definitely need the environment modification, high efficiency logistics. This is what we want here, planetary logistics systems. Titanium. We're definitely going to need titanium and stuff like that. So there's a lot of resources we're going to need for that, which means we need to visit other places. Let's just double check and make sure there's nothing on here. Oh, there we go. That can go in there. Anything that's just blue. Now we got steel. We can now do the inventory capacity. I think everything else. And we've also got access to graphite as well, which we'll shove that onto there. Again, red science. Red science. Okay, so there's a little bit of it to do. Now, I did extend it. I placed another set of 3 here. This is a really good setup if you just want to do just a little bit of research. You can see it's flying through the blue research. But when it comes to doing red research, it's going to be lacking a little bit because we'll have to halve it basically. And you could do a similar system where you could do blue, then red, then blue, then red, and stack up in a container like this. Look, we've got loads of blue there. But I'm not too worried about it. Now, we are running on the edge of our power supply. Okay. Why is it not emit? There we go. You can just see we're almost at the edge of the power supply here, so we definitely need to think about our power consumption overall. However, I need to set up so we can get some steel. Because a couple of things we need, which is going to be the oil extractor, we now need steel for. Okay, we've now unlocked the red energy matrix. Or they are just called energy matrix. The other one's, I think the yellow one's structural matrix, and I did look at the rest of them. Right, so this here's nicely fully stocked. So let's go ahead and set up something here. Just to do a little bit of a basic logistic. Transfer you into this, and then we're going to make you create steel. You're going to need some power. You sat in a dead zone. Right. This is literally just the basics of the basics. This is nowhere near what we want. We want it on a large scale. Right. I don't think you're going to manage. Nope. You're slightly lagging behind. So let's get a 2-to-1 ratio here. Can we get a 2-to-1 ratio? Yeah, we can. Yeah. Excellent. There we go. So that should stock it up. There we go. Perfect. That's overstocking now. And we're getting ourselves some steel. Once we get the crude oil, we can then start looking at hydrogen power. Now, I know I mentioned about the coal power being here, but we also want hydrogen power as well. So basically, we're going to have the coal probably move elsewhere, but this area here is just good. We've already got a set up power supply, so why ruin what we've already got set up? We want to move on to hydrogen, then probably hydrogen rods, and then maybe even deuterium rods. But we definitely want hydrogen because at some stage, when we're done, And you're going to be producing so much hydrogen, we could just burn it off nicely. Alright, we've got some steel now. Right, so now we have some steel, we can go ahead and create an oil extractor. Now, everything we're doing at the moment is still in our inventory, so we definitely want to try and get away from that. Let's just stock up on some supplies. Have we got? Don't have any more. Full up there. Right, let's just create. Definitely gonna need some belts and stuff like that. Go. Let's top up our power supply with the coal. Right, I believe we've got. Yes, we have an oil extractor. Right, so let's head on over to our crude oil, which we spotted over here. It's quite a distance away, but we have two of them by the looks of it, and we've got more coal as well, which is quite nice. Okay, right, let's up my crude oil here. Excellent. Now, we're going to be producing so much crude oil that we're not going to be able to get through it all until we get to a better scale. And then we're going to need that second crude oil there. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot of chemical production, but right now we definitely don't have the capacity for it. But we need some of the oils and stuff, because if we go to our oil refinery, crafting, we need some more steel for that. That's going to give us our hydrogen. Then we can look at doing hydrogen power, which will top up, and we don't have to use all of our coal. Right, so let's look at some power sources. Now, we have unlocked solar panels. Now, obviously, the advantage of solar panels is they can literally sit anywhere. The disadvantage is they don't work during the nighttime, obviously, and they need silicon. However, since this, we don't need to worry too much about this. I'm just going to basically place that. That's not quite reaching. Just pop a power supply there. Right, so you see this has got a 50% power supply, but it's still giving us oil. During the daylight, that's going to increase with the solar panel. So we're going to probably look at getting an almost 100% power supply here. Since I have no requirement for anything yet, I'm going to literally leave that as is. Later down the line, I'll probably expand on my power supply up there. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, lock the semiconductor. And all I'm going to do is just bring it down here. All of this will probably change at some stage, because we're going to have much bigger production.
You built a storage tank. It is more suitable for storing fluid than the storage. Each storage tank can only store one single type of fluid and can be built vertically. However, once it has been removed, all the stored fluid will be devastated.
Yeah, let's get you to just craft these here. You go a little bit closer to the build, you can see that the robots go a lot faster. Later down the line, you'll have them so quick and so many of them, you won't need to worry too much. But right now, they do take a minute, and we're eating into our power reserves here. Light costs a lot at this level. And obviously the robots as well use power up. Right, so we now got oil, and it's now transporting it to our supply here. Head on over, slow flight. Okay, so I'm going to grab some more steel. Where are you? There you are. Grab what steel we can. Produce a oil refinery. As a matter of fact, let's grab a couple of oil refineries. Don't know how many we'll get away with working here, but we'll try a couple. Oh, it needs a few resources to do. Now, the other thing we want to look at doing as well is when we get our environment modification, which is going here, we're going to need to smelt some of this stone down. We also need graphene as well. I'm going to put the graphene supply for now. Well, let's get the first oil refinery up and we can work that out. Right. I want it to take off the supply there. So it's going to take out the supply now.
This facility will produce multiple products. To divide them, you need to set a filter on the sorter. You can use Tab or the arrow keys on the right side of the keyboard to quickly set the filter when building the sorter.
Yeah, they're all about the splitters and the sorters. They both can do the same. So if we place a splitter down here, I prefer using a splitter because it's so good. But what I suggest you doing before you put any kind of supply in, even though this isn't connected, just as a kind of a practice, place your outbounds already, like so. And what that will do is it'll give you these options here, and you can set one as a primary, and you can filter it so it'll only put in hydrogen there, so everything else will come through to here. Since we know, or at least I know, that the only other thing coming out of here is refined oil, I can leave that and place a storage tank. If you have multiple coming out, then you definitely need to put a couple of these in. Right, let's set up. So place the power supply next to it there. Then we want it to crack the. You want plasma refining, which will give us, I believe, two refined oils and 1 hydrogen. As I say, right now, this isn't going to give us much. I believe that's getting a good enough supply. It's struggling on power. We can now connect to our sword splitter there. And you can see there, it splits the two. Now, as I say, right now, all of this is in my way, but I'm going to go ahead and place that there. I'm just going to pop another couple of power plants. We've only got one, so let's try and we can get a couple more in there. Hopefully we'll make it before that does it. Bin. Come on. Right, so that should help us on the power load. Still needing a couple of power. This level is so hard to get used to it. Okay, so we can now see planetary information on other planets as well. We also need more steel for our research.
Now, you can try to view the whole planetary system, and even the entire cluster, by clicking the star map button in the lower left corner of the screen.
We can see Protein 4 has our titanium ore that we want, but doesn't have silicon. You can also see that you've got collectible fire ice and collectible hydrogen here on the ice giant, which we will look at a later stage. We've also got another planet in the cluster here, which does have titanium and silicon. It pretty much has every ore, actually. A lot of iron and copper there, which is nice. You've got a lot of solar energy as well, so that could be good for solar power. Is this the only 3 we've got in the system? It looks like it is. It's quite a small system. We can see all them stars there. They're all traversable. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. Okay, right, let's get some more power set up here. My disorganized cluster. Okay. Got that one off there. We'll just chuck that. Oh, there we go. Shove that in there. Burn it off. Okay, so this isn't probably going to give us much in the ways of power supplies. You can see we're not even reaching these bottom 2 here. This one here is taking all the hydrogen. But we do have a couple more to make, and we can actually do some more environment stuff here. Stack them up there.
Foundation, a terrain leveling tool. Yet we cannot use it to change the planetary landforms at will. We can only level the surface to ground zero. If the foundation is used for high grounds, it will gain soil pile. On the contrary, if it is used on the ocean or low-lying areas, it must consume soil pile. When installing the foundation, either choose a kind of decoration or without decoration, even only surface leveling. insufficient required items. You can click the replicator button at the bottom right of the screen to open the panel and manually replicate these items.
Okay, alright, let's get a couple more going. Okay, so that should hopefully give us enough power. So what we need to look at, if we place a smelter down here, next thing we want to look at is graphite. And as you can see, we either need coal or oil and hydrogen. Right now, we've got a good amount of, well, I say good, a small amount of dribble of oil coming in. And that's not going to cut it for what we need. Apparently also need some logs, so let's just grab them logs. Well, thankfully, we can use coal, so we're going to go ahead and take our supply of coal that we have here. And then we're going to get our smelter, and all I'm going to do is same as what I did before. Chuck a couple of these on. Chuck a storage next to it. And then shove that on there. Looks like we might need some power supply. Okay. Then graphite. Definitely going to need some more power supply there, so let's just chuck you right there. Alright, is that going to hold it up? That should be enough to keep it going. It does look like it is. Yes, it is. Excellent. I said this is a very crude way of doing things at the moment, but it gives us what we need for our research, because a lot of what we want to set up is going to be needed at a later stage. Right. The other thing we have now is the ability to craft red science. So if I take this matrix lab here at the back and I switch this over to creating red science, you'll see we need the graphite and we also need hydrogen. At the moment, hydrogen is powering our spare power plants, and we've got a good generation now. But what we can also do is we can split off and provide this with hydrogen. As at the moment it's creating a blue science, we can just go ahead and select that back to here. And we're going to need graphene and hydrogen. Again, I'm going to put another splitter in here. I need to go one more down. Oh, that's not the right one. That's the one I want. Now, the downside to this is if I just put a splitter here, all it's going to do is it's going to prioritize putting hydrogen down this lane, which means that these three here no longer get it. So I'm going to place a second splitter shortly after it. This one here I'm going to place into my thing here. This one will have the priority set to it for hydrogen. This one's going to be blank, so when I place in this here, I can now take this here. This now becomes redundant, so I'm going to collect that, because it's always good to have a spare one on you. We'll connect that back up. Pick up the spare. Now we can reconnect our belts. And now we can place the belt in here, like so. And now we're getting a share of the resources. When this requires resources, it's going to pop it in there. Now the downside to our red science is because it's so close, I can't do what I've done here and provide it with a bit of storage. I could, however, if I fit it in here, it might not go across. No, it's not going to go across, but if I do that there, place that across there like so, we can now place that there and that there. That should give us, actually, there we go. Now that should give us the ability to stock up red science like so. So any spurs that we get when it's busy doing other things. The last thing I need to do now is bring graphene over to here. Now the graphene, I'm just gonna set up a better system here for our graphene, because if we start taking from this, we're gonna lose the power from them, and we don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and we should have, yep, we have another miner here. Excellent. And this is a temporary source. So let's go ahead, some logistics out of here. And I want to place you there. We're gonna need some more belts. Then get my production, and we're gonna get 3 going. We're then gonna bring them around. I should have done it the other way around, really, but it's fine. But we're gonna bring them around here, like so. Keep it on the line. Then all I need to do is drop it down and across the 2. Then, actually, what we can do is if I grab, we need some more stone. Up down to our stone storage. As I say, all this needs to be automated at some stage. Let's grab some more stone. Grab some storage. Okay. I continue you along here like so. Let them build this up. What we're building in we're building some. You'll also notice when you set the manual research up and it says use inventory items, it actually takes the things out of your inventory. So don't worry about using stuff in your inventory. See, it still remains there because it's held. If I take that off, it'll put it back in my inventory. Are we done yet? Oh yeah, we built one now. Excellent. I'll place that there, and we'll get some spare graphene off that. So, one little robot, build you there. There you go. Right, let's go over here, get this finished off. Add some power. Go. Now all we need to do is connect these up. There we go. I think I'll have enough to do double, I think. I'm presuming this is going to provide more than what these can handle, so I'm going to just see if it'll hold up. Alright, let's get these set to graphene. Right. Yeah, it looks like they're stocking up nicely. If I add too many to these, this back one here is not going to get any resources. It's only just getting a dribble now. Get rid of that there. Don't need that. Right. Let's head on over to our graphene supply over here. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stop this production now because we've got 3 producing up there. It's still nowhere near what we want. Nowhere near the automation that we want, but we're getting somewhere now, so we've got our red science going, so hopefully we can actually see that doing something. Let's just jump on over. So it's now producing red science. We're going to get a nice little stock of red science here. It's not the fastest. I don't think it's getting enough of anything. It is stocking up, so we've got the second one is stocking. Is it going to stock fully? It may struggle once the hydrogen runs out. Just skimming on the 20 there, but there is the 3rd one is getting some, so we should get a good supply of red science here. Again, if you were doing something, say I don't know, say you were doing something off camera, you know, away from your game or something like that. The good thing about this is it's going to keep going. So as long as you keep your unit with power, and it doesn't require anything, like as in you stop doing nothing, so you don't lose that power, because it's a bit of a pain once you lose the power because you've got to go around really slowly. You could just leave that to crack on with what you were doing. I have a nice little energy production here, so I can actually take off the energy grid. Obviously, when I'm charging, though, it takes a huge demand on the system. But once you're fully charged, that demand will go away. and everything will go back to normal. Or at least it should do anyway. But as you can see, it just gives us that ability to do stuff that we don't have to keep watching it. You know, you can move away and you can do whatever you need to do. We've got a nice backlog of all the resources. There's still plenty of steel to be had here, but it's keeping this stocked up nicely as well. It is slowly eating into it, but you've got so much of it backed up that there's no worries there. So you can take away from that. There we go, energy circuit. Right, so now we've got the red science. We can now concentrate on other things that we need. Now, these are all good researches to have, and I definitely recommend doing some of these because, I mean, one more construction drone is always good. Having more power is good. We're definitely going to need more power when visiting other planets, and we need titanium sooner rather than later. Moving around a little bit faster is good, but we can't actually do much with them abilities other than moving around a little bit faster, which is nice, yes, but we aren't things like this. You can get deuterium from this. You can also get, which one is it? That's for the photon combiners. Definitely want deuterium. We definitely need the superconductor, the graphene. So graphite and graphene. That's polymer chemical plant. We need X-ray cracking as well. This here is so useful because you can now do two things. You can use high energy X-ray photocatalyst that can crack refined oil into more hydrogen and process the byproducts into energetic graphite. Graphite, obviously, we're now starting to use, but we want the thing where it cracks more hydrogen. Then we need to start looking at things like hydrogen fuel rods. Hydrogen fuel rods are just basically a better fuel supply for our mecha and for our power plants, which is what I want before we start looking at doing the full power plant. And I might actually do the power plant in a different area so we can keep our basic design going for now until we're ready for doing something on a bit more of a bigger scale. Alright, so since we need more hydrogen first, let's go ahead and do the X-ray cracking first. Then we need the hydrogen fuel rods. It's going to struggle because it's going to need the red science. You can see the trying to use my inventory items as well. I think I've got 51 on me, so let's just drop that off for now because we shouldn't need to use inventory items now because everything should be available here. Okay, why are you not getting red science? Did I? Oh, I'm an idiot and I didn't put an outbound on here. Can I might actually be able to make that reach across. See if we can get it to reach across. We can, yes. It's going to be slow. Maybe we can upgrade that one. I want to upgrade that one so it's twice as fast. There we go, we got our sorters there. Upgrade tubes. That should be, there we go, much quicker. That should hopefully be doing that, yep. We can now deposit our crystals back into there. Oh, we're full up on coal, so I can't burn that hydrogen off. But if you look into here, at the moment, all we've got is the one ability here. We're going to get things like the chemical plants going at some stage, but right now we don't have a requirement for anything chemical. We're definitely going to need more hydrogen though, because it's just, we're getting dribs and drabs here. And I think, yeah, we're struggling on power supply. Bloody hell, look at all the coal veins everywhere. Copper, copper, copper. Stone over there, coal. More crude oil there, that's what we've seen. Oh, we've got crude oil over there as well. These two are better supply anyway, so we'll stick with them too. I think what I'm going to do is... we could do some water supply. I may actually make this here for a... since we've got the oil supply over here, I may actually plant the chemical plants here. We're going to need somewhere for our fuel supply. Sorry, for our power supply. I still think this area over here is going to be good. Stone's in the way at the moment, but yes. Do you have any more? Do good. Go ahead and set that there. Give it some extra juice. There we go. 100% satisfaction. That's what we want. Right. We could try and get rid of the coal, but that's a million coal. Sorry, stone. So maybe I convert this area here for power supply. It's a long way for us to bring the hydrogen. I'm not too worried about the travel for hydrogen and stuff like that because we're going to obviously provide it supply from our planetary logistics. Let's go ahead and set up something here for building foundations. Probably going to need some more belts here. Yep. Go ahead and craft them belts while that's doing that. Production. No, I don't want to do that. Production. That. Storage into there. Let's go ahead and bring this down to here. So, add some power supply. We want you to craft stone bricks. But then you to then transfer that stone brick over to here. We want you to craft I think it needs 3 stone bricks and 1 steel. Shouldn't burn the steel too much. Oh, we need some more plates. Have a stack of plates. Come on. Go. Right, we've got our sorters. So I'll just pop us some steel down here. I think I've put this too close. I have put it too close. Go. That's going to go ahead and make us a foundation. I think we're going to need another one store. I think. How are you look? Looks like you can't produce enough lights anyway, so we'll leave that for now. But we're getting some of them anyway. So it's going to be a while, I think, until we craft some stuff like that. So I think we'll call it there for this episode. I'm going to let it just tick over because we're going to need a lot of foundation. And I want to look at, I do think here is going to be better for the power supply, but that's a lot of soil for a start, and we don't have much in the way of soil to fill that gap. Whereas this here will actually gain a bit of soil because this is a bit of an uphill here. We could get rid of the stone, but I don't particularly want to get rid of any resources because obviously all the resources is good for us. And to get through that amount of stone, that's going to take us a while to get to because the mining machine just... they're alright, but, you know, they only do so much. A lot of stone to be storing somewhere. We could do a smaller scale, so we could expand on this, so we can make these hydrogen... and bring them across here. We could get at least 2 rows of them. We'll have a look at that for the next episode. We need more foundation at the moment. I will possibly expand on this so it gives me more foundation quicker. But right now, that's all we're going to be waiting for because, as I say, I want to get... Well, we got research to go as well, and obviously the research is going to take a while because we're only getting so much here. And I don't think we're going to get any more out of the oil, because I don't think we're getting a backlog of oil. We're getting a little bit of a backlog, but I don't think that's... I think that's just because we only had one at the start. These are keeping up with it in the moment. So until we get proper power supply over by our oil refinery, get the second oil refinery plugged in. Pump. That's the one. I don't know what do they call them. What do they call them? Oil extractors. Yeah, see, we're not getting enough hydrogen for that last engine there. We definitely need this research going before anything, so we'll let that tick over. Let me know in the comment section what you're thinking. As I say, I'm just having the basics here. We've got a long way to go before I'm happy with what we've got. This whole planet's basically going to have foundation on it. It's going to have no water left on it whatsoever, apart from maybe a small area where we'll have our water pumps. And I'll probably do like a stack of 10 water pumps or something like that, or maybe 3x3, so you get 12 in total on a block. We'll see how that goes, see how much we can get in an area before it like gets rid of the water and stuff like that. But certainly not going to have most of the greenery we've got now. This planet's going to be purely industrialized, which I'm looking forward to do. We obviously definitely need to get titanium as well. We do have flight that now allows us to go... no, we don't have enough power yet, so no, we can't break orbit just yet. The next drive will allow us to break orbit, and then we can travel to another planet. And hopefully we'll have the power supply for that as well. Burn all this off. But thanks a lot for joining us for this episode. Let me know in the comment section if you've got any suggestions, ideas, or if you just want to come out in the game. I'm loving this game. I've played quite a lot of hours already off camera. So I've got a general idea of where we're going with this. I'm just not happy with the amount of nodes we've got together here. We could look for somewhere else on the planet for the power supply. I want solar panels on one of the hemispheres, and maybe on the North Pole, because that's getting quite a lot of energy. Because I want to try and keep the North Pole free, because I want to deploy the Dyson solar panels on the top. No huge... I mean, that is quite a huge continent, but look, there's a lot of ore veins again. We've got crude oil there as well. Yeah, I think the best bet is to transfer, to convert this here into maybe, or this here. May go with this here actually, because we've got plenty of water, so I'm not worried about the water supply. But as always, let me know in the comment section what you think, suggestions, ideas, or anything like that. But until next time, everybody, take care for now. Shall see you all on the next one. Bye bye for now.